Usually when you open up Zoom, it's like a fucking uni class or like Michael's head or something. You're like, here we go. You open up Zoom and it's Steven Spielberg. Obviously you were nervous. Like, how did you get through that? And what was that like?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't find out it was with Steven till days before.
Yeah.
So those days leading up were stressful.
Yeah,
and it was, with the time differences and everything, it's hopping on the Zoom at 8 a.m. and it was just, which was great. I didn't have the whole day to think about it.
Oh, yeah.
Which
that
was nice.
Been rough.
What time did you wake up?
Probably like 6 or so. Mentally preparing.
I wouldn't have slept.
Yeah. No, I don't think I did get much sleep. But it was, I mean, that's everything was marinating. It was probably the best way to go about it. Yeah, I hopped on a Zoom at 8 a.m. and it was Steven. There was Tony Kushner who wrote it, who's, I studied in school and just, idolized. It's crazy. And then, the producers, Kate Capshaw, his wife, and this is nuts. So I just turned the brightness down.
Nice.
Good.
So I couldn't see anything. So that kind of dealt with the stress.
You got given it in the
On the
Zoom,
spot.
right?
On the Zoom. So did the audition a couple of times and they hopped off the Zoom for about 10 minutes and were like, we gotta figure something out here. And then I was sitting there for 10 minutes, like, fuck, what have I done wrong? Like, what? As soon as they come back on, like, what can I say? Like, can I do differently or something? And then they hop back on, and Stephen was like, "Have you got your visa ready? Because we think you're superb. You got the part."
Oh my god!
And I was like, this is like a dream come true.
Yeah.
Like seriously, it's like winning the lottery.
Yeah. Can imagine. That's why I buy a lottery ticket every Sunday.
Footy was everything for me, from a young age, and that was, the dream was to play professionally, like most kids that start playing rugby have that dream. So that was the main thing. And then I had too many concussions and fractured my skull, and I was like, you know what, I probably should stop playing. And I finished after high school. But when I had one of those concussions or the fractured skull, I had that surgery one year in year 9 or 10, and that was kind of a decision for me to what else could I do?
Yeah,
and they kind of divert that passion to something else. I didn't know what that was, and that's kind of when Michael Griffiths took me under his wing, I guess, and introduced.
You were really inspired when you watched like a HSC performance of a senior when you were like quite young. Tell us about that. I'm a thespian, by the way. So
I mean, you hear these people that have like these amazing stories about, this is when I knew acting was for me, whatever. And there's, so many fucking great stories, and mine's not that inspirational. I remember sitting in like, I was in year 8 or year 7 or whatever, and I was, 14 years old, and watching the older boys do their performances. That sounds a bit weird, but I was watching them do their individual year 12 performances for HSC. Got his name, but he did this amazing performance from 1984, George Orwell's 1984, and it was just this incredible performance. And I was surrounded by my mates, like footy boys
jocks.
and whatnot, jocks. And I was like, I was a kind of an emotional, like deep thinking kind of kid, and I was watching this performance, and I was just like struggling to not let my friends see that I was like crying. I was like 14 years old, and I was like, this is amazing. Like this has just totally affected me, and that's when I wanted to be able to do that, myself, to do a performance to affect others, for a positive,
definitely,
or negative, or whatever.
What was he like as a director?
He gave the actors the freedom to do what they needed to do, and so for me, it was like there was no rehearsal, so it's just you put in your own homework, and you turn up expecting or hoping that what you've done is enough. Overwhelming again, and so turning up, it was him just acting off instinct and intuition, and you kind of just trust, obviously, what's going on. You have to trust that, right?
Definitely, of course.
Yeah, he's got the maestro here.
Did you get any good advice from your co-stars as well, like Gabriel Labelle?
Cool, man.
Unreal.
He's
What's he like?
I mean, he's cool. He was 18. I was 19. I was 18 as well. And we'll just. This is our first big thing. Like at the same time, it was nice to share that kind of feeling together. Yeah. He obviously had the weight of carrying the whole film. I was just here to
be Steven
and to be Steven, which is like nuts. And I was just there to contribute in my way. So I spoke to him a lot. We were staying in the same hotel and riffing off each other of what he thought about it and what I thought about it. And he gave me great advice on what to read and what to watch, and from like other actors, and getting advice on that on how to build your own process. Palm Springs recently for the film The Fabelmans was winning this award, the Vanguard Award. Colin Farrell was there, and he was receiving an award for his performance in The Banshees. And I went to the bathroom, was taking a piss, looked up and looked across the stall and see Colin Farrell there, piss and
cock out.
Nice cock. Oh, wow. Colin, nice to meet you, man. I'm a big fan of your work, not your cock. He's cool. He was like what you'd expect. In person. He was like, "Oh, you're that kid from the fucking the Fabelmans." Oh my god, I love that locker room scene. That was great. That was you guys killed it. It was such a great film, so beautiful. And I'm like, oh, that's
awesome.
Yeah, it was a vulnerable moment for us to share. You know, hand on, you know, in the stalls.
Yeah. There was the scene on the beach where you were shirtless. Now I want to ask,
where do you want to go with this?
Were you doing push-ups off screen? Be honest.
Oh man, I'm not gonna say no. I was doing every workout under the sun, man. I was
well, you looked
sure the
great.
rig was looking tight. No, but I mean, I think that bottle of wine still stuck with me for those shirtless scenes. So I had to, you know, I think drinking alcohol is probably the no-go for the next film.
Yeah, fair enough.
If the shirt comes off, the kid comes off.
Like Stephen, just give me 1 second. Just get a quick pump.
Filmmaking process compared to what you'd had with theatre,
like on stage and
Yeah.
stuff.
Good question.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Who wrote that one? Obviously, a completely different ballgame. You know, turning up to a set for a film. You know, you're doing each shot. It's repetitive. You're getting this camera angle. You're getting that camera angle. And you know, fortunately for me, having Tony Kushner write this, it was very theatrical the way it was written. So I had that kind of comfort in my lines, knowing that I'm delivering the same kind of rhythm or whatever.
Yeah.
It felt safe. Filming was just a weird kind of process
would be.
to learn, and I was learning on the spot, which was
Definitely.
I guess a weird concept as well.
Right,
When the
last
camera-
question. Favorite Australian cinema podcast?
Oh, come on. You can't do that to me.
You're really putting him on the
Got
spot.
him.
Cinema, mates. Let's go.
Nice. Yes.
He's
It's on
done.
camera.
It's on camera. We got it.